Hey guys, Bob Type Bar here. We have another video today. Instead of the video yesterday talking about the final battle in 8 Mile and how the psychology of this works really well with exposing yourself. But today we're going to be talking about the pursuit of happiness. There's a specific scene here that says, don't let somebody tell you you can't do something, not even me. We're going to talk about it, how parents react and your surroundings around you act when it comes to your success and why they're personal to you and you shouldn't be talking about it with everybody. Stay tuned. So, why shouldn't you be talking about your goals with your parents? When it comes to your parents, family, and friends, they will always try to project doubt within you. Now, specifically parents, they do this because of the fact that they're not doubtful because of you, but it's based on their own fears as parents. When you are teaching kids the new ropes, rather if it's how to walk, how to pick up a plate, you're always going to be worried about them breaking a plate or tripping down on the floor because parents have doubts and it's normal. This isn't a bad thing. A parent has a basis of trying to keep on motivating their kid, at least when it comes to the bare minimums: eating, walking, motivating them to get back up and try again, telling them don't do that again when they burn their hair on the stove. All this stuff comes natural to them. But as they start growing up in their later years, so like a teenager, 15, 18, 19, or even through their early 20s, parents tend to forget often this is the perfect time where they need the motivation from their parents to grow in a specific field that the child wants to grow in. Your parents love you, but they always don't know what's best for you. Your vision is yours for a reason. When it comes to your vision, it's not going to be perfect. I want to be a YouTuber and I want to be known for my car content and my motivational content. That's important to me. But if I tell everybody about this story and the goals that I have, they're not going to understand because they're stuck in a box in the ideas of going to college, graduating, making money, going back home, going to sleep, having kids, and etc., etc., etc. They're stuck to that routine because that's all that they've known. So it's important when you are growing up with yourself to be your own motivator and to see the pictures in your head of what it looks like to be successful in your own image. When you start seeing success and the good things around in your life, keep them to yourself. You don't have to share them with everybody because they're out here to destroy you. And then not only that, the way that your parents grew up plays a big factor too, because their parents might have taught them that college was the best way, or that smoking to relieve your stress has always worked for the past 50 years. So you can't judge them on that factor. It's just the way that they grew up. So, about your dreams is like, you're gonna seem crazy to people because people believe in the base minimum of going to college, getting paid, getting the house, etc., etc. You know, the social norms that every person does to be proven as successful. But that's not true success. True success in your life is seen on the opportunities that you take, and true success in your life is doing the things that you love to do. Like in the movie, Will Smith is often carrying around his favorite project, his idea, and he's showing it to businesses, but businesses keep on rejecting him. The people around him keep on rejecting him, even to the point of the extent of his wife divorcing him. Clarification: in the movie The Pursuit of Happiness, what really, really caused them to break down in their relationship was his financial instability. And he was financially unstable because of the fact that he was so focused on the project and he knew that it was going to do very well. I needed to clarify that. Sorry about that. The scene that surprised me the most is the one that we're talking about today. Is like Will Smith's son is bouncing around the basketball, and Will Smith says, "You better stop bouncing that ball through day and night." And Will Smith's son puts the ball in the bag, disappointed. And Will Smith is hanging his arm on the fence, and he says to him, "Don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do, not even me." And when it comes to your dreams, don't let people crush those. Those are your beliefs. Those are things that you picture every day. And if you're just like me, you might picture yourself with the Porsche 911 GT3. You might think about yourself having a stronger relationship with God. And you might picture yourself being famous one day. And all of these ideas are fine. But the moment you start exploiting them to everybody, harshly, very hastily, people start feeling like you're crazy and that you're delusional. But the thing is that dreams are supposed to be in an extent of delusion to some point. Because if your dreams were so small, then they probably weren't meant to be achieved in the first place. When you start forgetting about your dreams and you set them back in the back burner, you start falling into the social norms of doing the bare minimum. So that's why it's important every day to keep on exercising that muscle of creativity and the goals that you have set for you already. You want to write down your dreams in clear words, taking notes, praying upon them, just so they're not things against God, like being a drug dealer, well-known drug dealer, God isn't going to support that. But he will support ideas of you being a good actor, being a good comedian, just as long as it brings glory to him at the end of the day. And don't take small-minded people personally. A lot of people today have small-oriented goals, rather if that's to save $1,000 versus if that's taking in the quickest college that's willing to take me in with the smallest opportunities. But you have to think broader. And the best example I can give you of this is when I was praying for something that I was going through in my life. And God said, pray a little bit bolder. And I'm like, bolder? He said, yes, bolder. And I did. And I got that prayer. And I received it. And when you start seeing your life in the broader picture of just the simplistic things, and almost to the delusional aspect of, I will achieve this thing in the shortest amount of time possible, and you're going to watch me do it too. And when you do succeed in that, people are going to want to come back and try to become that friend to you, that buddy, because they have their own selfish ideas of what they want to do by using your name. They want you to be around them when you succeed so that they can rub off that energy towards them. But you have to realize that at the end of the day, it wasn't always about them. It was always about you and the dreams that you have. So yeah, don't let people try to bust down your dreams, and don't even let family do that to you either, because family is just there and they're going to be fearful. But that's just because of the fact they care about you, like I was mentioning before. But yeah, I really, really like this movie of the Pursuit of Happiness, because it's a really, 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 really emotional story. And I relate to that a lot because my parents were trying to move out from Puerto Rico to the US and they really, really struggled. And I blessed that 100%. I felt so great and I was very, very grateful, because now I have the opportunities that I couldn't have seen in Puerto Rico that now in the US I can achieve. And that's the freedom of having my own place. Not only that, but being open to making YouTube videos and meeting the good people around me. And I wouldn't have done that if I kept my dreams closed off and short spoken to. Don't just chase your dream, encourage others to chase theirs. When you get to the point that you are in your life where you have succeeded, don't talk people down. Don't be the person that shuns people's dreams and puts them in the back burner forever to be destroyed. Be the person that motivates them when you succeed. When you see yourself at the top, don't look people from the bottom. See yourself and them at the same level. Humble yourself, give them the advice that they need to hear so that they could succeed equally as you did. Now, you need to amplify on the fact that they need to succeed in their own style, so you guys aren't copying and pasting each other, because you can't have two Juans. You can't have two of the same person doing the same thing, talking about the same thing and the same ideas, because it doesn't become original. You want to make sure they're giving them advice so that they become original in their own way. And just be the person that just talks positive. I like saying God's good all the time, and all the time he's good, because he's the one that opens opportunities and can close those doors for you too. And when you put yourself in a humble position, more doors open to you. When you put yourself in the humble position of saying, I can do it, I can achieve it, but I don't need to brag about it, more opportunities open to you to not only help people, but meet new people that you can add to your friend circle. There are motivational people that are going to be encouragements, and that they're going to be motivators in your life. What I do want to amplify here is the fact that the wife of Will Smith in this movie often rejects him on his ideas. She makes his pursuit seem reckless, selfless, and hopeless, when in reality, it's his only shot at real change. In life, you only get a couple of shots at showing yourself in your talents where you're truly creative. And when you miss those opportunities, they don't come by again. You have to be the person that's willing to take the risk no matter what anybody tells you. Another thing that she did is, instead of supporting his risk or showing belief in his vision, she undermined him with fear and doubt. People are going to do that. It's normal, like we're explaining today. But when it's your wife, that's really, really tough to think. And that's what makes this movie very, very sad, is that the people around him just start crumbling. And he starts feeling alone. And when you're trying to succeed, loneliness is there. And it shouldn't stop you from pursuing the stuff that you love. You're going to be alone no matter what. Nobody's going to take the same path as you are. Remind yourself, doubt is external, but faith must be internal. You have to have your own faith. And it goes back to what I was speaking before, is you have to be delusional, as crazy as it may seem. Be delusional. Say you're going to get 10,000 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's crazy. But it sets you up on a plan to get to that. When your dreams are too small, you're not going to have that much runway to get to it. But when they're big, you're going to have all this runway, all this opportunity, and all these ideas that you can post up. And one of those are going to hit. But if your ideas are too small, what are the chances that you're going to hit that goal on time? At least with all this opportunity of hitting that big goal, you're willing to hit something at least here. But if it's too small, you might miss all the way through. And that's what I like about having delusional goals and setting those delusional goals. Now, amplifying on that idea, I just love amplifying things. Being delusional is worked in 3 ways. Self-imagery. Think about the most craziest things that are going to happen in your life, in your brain, and keep it to yourself. Porsche 911 GT3 RS. I want a big house with 10 rooms in it. I want the big driveway and the big backyard so all 5 of my kids can play in them. That's delusion. Number 2 is believing yourself and having faith. When you have delusion, you want to mix it with faith, believing God can take you there. I remember when I was praying something specifically about getting my rent paid, and I was saying, God, just give me $500 and that. And God says, no, do it more boldly. God, give me the whole rent. And you know what God did? Came through at the 31st exactly and gave me the rent. So you want to be bold with your prayers and believe it, and it will be given to you. And then number 3 is remaining consistent. Just like Will Smith did in this movie with his project, he remained consistent, asking and asking and asking, and never giving up, no matter what the people around him were doing, pushing him down, demotivating him, giving him difficult challenges in his life that is interrupting him from his purpose. He never stopped. Let me know what you guys think below about the pursuit of happiness of this specific scene. I love this scene, and I'll keep on expressing it as much as I can because we've watched this movie at least like 5 times growing up. And when you come from a background of struggle, and specifically financial struggle and dreams and being ambitious, it hurts you deep down in your heart. So I hope this finds you motivating today. Drop a comment below what you guys think about this. This is part 2 of the series of just movie motivation, I guess, if I want to start it. But we'll call it that. I love you guys, and God loves you too. Peace out.